team, but that game feels like a month ago. Hamilton beat Sask 18-14, and now the Riders aren't in control of their destiny anymore. On Saturday, the Toronto Argonauts beat the BC Lions 23-20, and while Vernon Adams still hasn't thrown an interception for BC since coming over to replace Nathan Rourke, can I ask you this, Darren? Can the BC Lions even hope to contend for a Grey Cup without Nathan Rourke? Because they've won one game, I think, with Vernon Adams. Without Nathan Rourke, they can't beat good teams.
I know, and that's really, really tough. I don't know if it's a confidence thing, if it's getting everybody on the same page. The good news is there's a little time to still get this right. And we know Vernon Adams is a capable quarterback who can win you football games. It's just not happening right now. And for whatever reason, it's not a constant mesh with that group. So I would be worried, but it can be fixed.
It would be a good poll question for maybe later in the week. Can the BC Lions win a Grey Cup without Nathan Rourke? Because it doesn't look like they can, but you make a good point. They still got time. They've clinched a playoff berth. They can figure something out, but overall they haven't been able to beat good teams.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
If we were a football show or an NFL show, I could spend 2 hours on what my football people are telling me today in the NFL. They're not upset at the refs with these roughing the passer penalties. Last week, you had NFL vets on ESPN crying, literally crying. The league doesn't care about us. A week later, they're throwing flags on quarterbacks getting hit. So it's like, what do you want?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
I know what you want. You want fantastic sports talk, so you've come to the right place. I almost got caught with my pants down there. I was listening to the pre-show, which we air on YouTube only. I was so entertained, I almost forgot that we were getting ready to come on live with episode number 860 of your favorite daytime sports talk show. We are live on Game Plus Television and WQEE Radio in Metro Atlanta, noon in Georgia to be specific. Hello, Ryan O'Radio. He just sent us a note and said, here's to another great show. And I'm like, oh, the pressure. Let's bring in the Moose, Darren Moose Dupont, who hails from the NHL's Bermuda Triangle. You see, I'm back home, Moose. What's up with the hat? You having a bad hair day or what?
You know, no, but I had a bit of a hectic morning, and I didn't take as much time doing the hair. You know what? I've never worn a hat on this show. And I thought maybe there's always a good time for the first.
I think that's a good idea. I've never worn a hat on this show nor any other show. I don't think for my whole life. But I also have $30,000 invested in my head, in my hair. So I'm not covering that up. And for you, you got the best natural flow in the business. So, yeah, absolutely. So, okay, I'm glad to hear it. I'm sorry. I know I called you early to chat today, so my bad. But anyways, hope everybody's ready for fun today. Coming up, Andrew Hustler Patterson from Winnipeg Sports Talk. He's in hour one. The Jets will open their season Thursday night. And I'm starting to buy a little stock in the Winnipeg Jets. And maybe Hustler will tell me that I'm crazy. Trust me, he wouldn't be the first. And in hour two, Canada's foremost NHL insider, Jim Lang, NFL insider, Jim Lang, but the owner of many leather-bound books and the author of many best-selling books on hockey and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Jim Lang will be with us in hour two. So that's what's going on. Can you hit quick six show horn, please?
How about that?
By the way, shout out to the Florida Panthers and their fans. They've been retweeting the heck out of our posts, our YouTube interviews, and articles written by our interns from yesterday's NHL preview. So thank you to the Florida Panthers. They're treating us so well. I'm not real interested in leaving here at the end of the week, I'll be honest. But at least I'm coming home for fun. And that is broadcast junior hockey game. Do some public speaking, go to Grey Cup, which I know you have a very big announcement that you'd like to make later on in the program. But number one, we're starting with hockey today because the analytics say That's what the people want. The Vegas Golden Knights and New York Rangers opened their NHL regular season Tuesday night with wins. In Los Angeles, Mark Stone scored with 24 seconds to go in the third to give the Golden Knights a 4-3 victory. And at Madison Square Garden, the Rangers knocked off the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-1 as Mika Zibanejad had 2 goals, and goalie Igor Shesterkin stopped 25 of 26 Lightning shots. I want your take on the games, if you watched them. Serena said yesterday, she's like, it's always hockey season. And yes, it is, but it's not every night where you can turn on your television and here in America see Mark Messier and Chris Chelios and Steve Levy on the panel, and it's game night and it's big. So yeah, we can talk about hockey every day, but not every day there's games. So last night was special, and I was a little surprised to see the Golden Knights win, to be honest. What was your take on opening night?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that game, but I was really dialed into that Tampa New York Ranger game. And it was awesome. It just felt like a big deal. It felt like opening night, and it was special. And those two teams went head to head. There wasn't, a crazy amount of goals, but you know what? We watched Zibanejad. He was a human highlight reel last night. He almost had 3 goals in that game. Looked really, really good. I thought the Rangers looked good. Tampa looked okay. So it was fun. It was lots of fun getting back to hockey and watching the games live.
Well, as we get the NHL season started, I got to ask this to all our viewers and listeners, wherever you may be. And the great thing about Atlanta, it's a little like South Florida, sneaky good hockey town, because in Atlanta, they've had 2 NHL teams there. They know hockey. They didn't necessarily love it, and that's why the NHL didn't stay, but they at least get it. I'm watching the game at Madison Square Garden last night going, this thing is sold out, whatever MSG holds, 17,000, 18,000, at the most expensive ticket in the NHL. Number 1, the Rangers, and they were into it, oohing and on like crazy. And LA, Crypto.com Arena, 18,000 and change for the Kings and Golden Knights on opening night. And I'm like, where are people getting the money? Because I got money. I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that. So, and it's not just an American thing. You watch tonight, 4 Canadian teams are going to launch their NHL regular season as we roll into point 2. The Toronto Maple Leafs will be in Montreal. The Edmonton Oilers host the Vancouver Canucks. By the way, the Canucks starting the season with 5 straight on the road. Sens and Flames get going Thursday. The Jets start their season on Friday. So a long wait. So, yeah, just ticket prices. I saw the Rangers were number 1. We posted it from our site the other day. I don't know. It wasn't me that posted it. I saw the Coyotes had the cheapest ticket in the NHL, and I think the Florida Panthers here, our good friends, are the 4th least expensive ticket in the National Hockey League. That's just my question. Where are they getting the money? Do you have an answer? Do the viewers have an answer?
My only thing is they've been saving. They've been saving since the playoffs ended, and they're ready to go. I don't know, but it comes back down to, it really doesn't matter how much money you have. You find a way to do the things you want to do, and you make excuses for not doing the things that you don't want to do. That's human behavior. So if you want to go to the game, you're going to find money to go to the game or a reason to go to the game. Now, it doesn't mean you don't like hockey if you don't go to the game. You'll find ways to watch the game because you get just as much enjoyment out of that, watching it on TV or other certain things. But yeah, those fans want to be there, and I love that they're doing it. But man, that's an expensive ticket.
It's awesome. Start spreading the news. The RP show's live on Game Plus TV right now, WQEE Radio and YouTube. Let's get those numbers up. Dropping in on the viewers, Kevin the Medium's watching in Airdrie, Alberta, says, I need an RP hoodie. RodPetersonShop.com. Our entire inventory's there. We got to spend a minute. We will spend a minute on this. Jennifer from the Four Seasons says, good morning, everyone. Looks like Davante is charged with misdemeanor assault. I did not get any news on that or notification. She's talking, obviously, about the Raiders receiver who pushed over a cameraman the other night on Monday Night Football, and I'll get to that. Jack Fulton watching from, normally from Vulcan, Alberta, says, howdy from Palm Desert. Ted in Red Deer says, Andrew Hustler and Jim Lang. Going to be a great show today. Hustler and Lang coming up. Tough to beat yesterday, though. Oh, I know, right? It was just great being at the beach house, and the Panthers have just been so good to us. I love them so much. I'm going to stop for a second. And Allie, by the way, from Texas, writing, she says, morning, y'all. I have direct stream just to watch my Stars Hockey. How did you feel about Davante Adams pushing over the camera guy? My mind went 6 different ways, as it usually does when I saw that happen. It's one of the reasons why I'm not real interested in getting down in the trenches with these leagues and teams. Because I had a rich guy the other night. I talked to a lot of rich guys, Darren. How about that? I'm not rich, but my friends are. One guy says, well, you may not be a millionaire, but you're getting paid in happiness, man. You're getting paid in happiness. You're doing great things. You're loving life. You look so happy on the show. You're getting paid in happiness, man. He goes, I got a lot of money, but I'm not happy. I'd rather have what you have. I'm like, okay, then. And what was the other one? Point B. Oh, another guy wrote me and he said, when I was at the Dolphins game in the owner's suite, not the owner's suite of the Dolphins, but a guy said, you're in the show now. Have fun. I'm like, trust me, I am. But when you're down on the front lines, traveling with the teams in the news conference room, I kind of feel like it's a little dehumanizing. I'm just going to say it. They make you wait. They aren't necessarily all that nice to you. That's not every team, but some teams and some players. Some players are great. But did you not get the sense that Davante Adams might not be the nicest guy when the camera guy walked in front of him and he shoved him over like that and kept going? You knew something was going to come out of this, and if he's being charged, that might be a little too far, but it is America, Darren, after all.
Yeah, I think it's too far. But when I saw it, I'm like, no, Davante, don't push him. Oh, you're going to get fined, and it's going to cost you $100,000 or whatever it's going to cost you, because you can't. They're there to do a job. But I understand the frustration because you just lost the game. You went for 2, didn't get it, tried to get into field goal range at the end. So he's frustrated because he's the playmaker on that offense, and he's leaving the field after missing an opportunity to upset the Chiefs and really get, the Raiders back into the conversation again. But instead it's another loss. And you got this camera guy who's like, I'm hurt. I need a special ride to the hospital, and I got to get checked out for injury. And he was probably okay, but you feel for him too, because he's just doing his job. So hopefully it just kind of blows over.
How do you feel? You feel for who? Like, listen, if I may, and thank you, Jennifer, from the Four Seasons for writing in, because this is what we want. We want the viewers to write in with their comments. Well, I won't necessarily pick up on all of them, but I knew this was a topic that we would get into at some point. And I know you didn't mean this. I dang sure hope you didn't. Well, you can see where Davante was coming from. They just lost the game. He dropped the game-winning pass. So, no, it's not okay. Tell the police when they show up at your door, well, I hit her, but you know what? I was mad. Don't work that way. Especially when you're getting paid that amount of money. Well, ever. But that's my point, is that's a lot of the media that will be watching this or have worked in pro sports will be nodding their head going, yeah, they know what I'm talking about. It's dehumanizing. He shouldn't, that camera guy didn't deserve that. Now, get out of the way, too. I think they're both at fault for that. But that's why I don't want to be on the trenches anymore, because I got better things to do than sitting. You're 45 minutes late, bro, for this news conference that you said was at 1. I got better things to do. Bye, as Serena says. Oh, and by the way, stop. I'm gonna move on here in a second. Where's Pinks? Todd Pinkney writes that he says the Regina Pats have more expensive tickets than the Coyotes. $40 or not shouldn't be too much money to go to a junior hockey game. That's just me. And as a guy who's got $1,000 season tickets, or did, I didn't renew them anymore because I'm not there anymore. But, and Pinks isn't saying anything about how expensive the Pats tickets are. I'm just saying, I got to find my gong here. It's not that expensive, man. Although here, the FAU Owls charge $20 for a ticket, and I was talking to one of the fans about that. And he goes, amateur athletes, you shouldn't charge any more than $20. I don't know. I'm not sure there's a winning argument on that. John Ohm in Winnipeg says, I need a good laugh. I'm watching a Coyotes game in Arizona. They're a punchline. I think they're always going to be a punchline. That's the way it is. It's not going to change. And Arlen Bruce III, writing in a Canadian Football League great, says, I'll be attending the Lions versus the Bombers Saturday night Go Lions. BC Lions by 6. Take the deal. Stop. Our NHL talk and ticket talk brought to you by Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Find everything you need to know about our services, financing, product information, and more at broncoplumbing.com. Guys, tell Camco I was talking about him at this point of the show. This is the warm-up. Dang, Moose, I knew it was going to go fast. Point 3, a person with direct knowledge of the matter told the Associated Press that the NFL did not give officials a directive to emphasize roughing the passer penalties following Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's concussion. But the topic will be discussed when NFL owners meet in New York next week. The person said the league isn't planning to make any rule changes amid outrage over 2 disputed calls in Week 5. One against the Chiefs and one against the Falcons. It cost the Falcons the game. Shout out Atlanta. Hashtag rise up. At least the Chiefs went on to win the game. Roughing the passer penalties are down 45% from this point last year. That's the Associated Press story. Do you believe the refs weren't told to tighten up on roughing the passer? Because I don't believe this story. Somebody's lying. But that's just me.
No,
how do you feel?
I agree. Now, doesn't mean it came from the league. This could mean that it came from the director of officiating. Maybe that's not considered or within the group, but it's not a coincidence that Tua has the 2 weeks back to back and is in the concussion trouble that he's in. And then all of a sudden there's the crackdown the very following week. And you get 2, I don't want to say phantom calls, but really soft roughing the passer calls. They're purposely and maybe, and I'm not saying it's wrong, erring on the side of being overcautious with the quarterbacks right now. And the league's going to address it.
I don't think there's any doubt that the refs were. I knew it when I laid my head down to sleep on Monday night that the refs had been told to crack down on roughing the passer. So for them to come out and say, oh, no, I was told that didn't happen. Yeah, because you said that it didn't happen? I'm supposed to believe you? An anonymous source? Somebody got back to me that they DM'd me on Twitter and said, Rod, you're wrong about Tua. There was a statement on Friday from the NFL and NFLPA. Nobody did anything wrong. The doctors didn't do anything wrong. The coaches didn't do anything wrong. The players didn't do it. Nobody did anything wrong. And they're just going to change the protocol now and the tests. Oh, okay, good. Nobody did anything wrong. Meanwhile, Tua's career could be over. Got it. First, a word from our sponsor, Edo Japan. Edo Japan's fast and friendly service, plus online ordering options are easy and convenient when you're on the go. When we come back, we'll talk a little more NHL, Major League Baseball playoffs, Canada's Game of the Week, Blue Bombers bidding for the Grey Cup, and a little bit about the dub and the Q and the O. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, your favorite podcast platform, and, of course, always on the radio on your home of Southern Sports and Talk, WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love. Smoky
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
beat. I gotta hit the beat.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
Jumping back into it, and just before we bring the Moose back in, hopefully I can keep my mind on track. I'm just going to go with the baseball from day one of the division series. Jordan Alvarez hit it. That might be a new name for our director, Jordan Alvarez hit a game-ending 3-run homer with 2 outs in the 9th inning off Robbie Ray, wrecking Seattle's strategy of using a Cy Young Award winner in a rare relief role, and vaulted the Houston Astros over the Mariners 8-7 Tuesday in their playoff opener. I think it was only the 6th time Robbie Ray's been used out of the bullpen, and it didn't work. In L.A., Trey Turner homered and doubled as Los Angeles started fast and held off San Diego 5-3 in Game 1 of their NL Division Series. In New York, Garrett Cole cruised for most of the night. Harrison Bader and Anthony Rizzo homered, and the New York Yankees beat Cleveland 4-1 in their American League Division opener. And in Atlanta, dare I say, here in Atlanta, Nick Castellanos drove in 3 runs and made a potentially game-saving catch in the 9th inning, lifting Philadelphia over reigning World Series champion Atlanta 7-6 in the opener of their NL Division Series. I got to quote our guy Mo Egger over there in Cincinnati, who said with the Reds out, nobody in Cincy's paying attention to the playoffs. With the Blue Jays out, I'll read the scores, but I'm not watching it. I was watching hockey all last night. I'm sure you had the opportunity to watch baseball, did you?
Not a chance. And that's, I don't want to be disrespectful to the baseball community and the baseball fans, which we know a lot, including, producer Clark, but it's hockey time now. If the Jays were still in it, I'd have probably chose the Blue Jays over hockey. To be honest, I would have watched the Jays game and prioritized it, but not anymore.
Keep reaching down here. The breaking news, and I appreciate the viewers and listeners for sending it in. Davante Adams, Raiders receiver, charged with misdemeanor assault after shoving a cameraman Monday night on Monday Night Football in Kansas City. Ted in Red Deer says, to me, the Adams issue means teams will now restrict media even more and not allow photographers to be in the tunnel on the way out. Can I just say this before we move on to the CFL and then back to hockey? My counselor, but also my colleague, and in some ways, business partner in some ventures, Rand. Everybody knows it, Rand Teed. He's a national treasure in the counseling world and the recovery world. Here's his one fundamental thing, Darren. One fundamental thing. Don't be a dink. That's it. Life comes down to don't be a dink. So it'd be pretty sad if the NFL came out and restricted the media even more. Hey, Davante, you're storming off the field. Maybe, and there's a guy cutting in front of you. Maybe just stop. How about that? Anybody think about that?
How about that? Bingo!
But no, we've got to ban photographers from being on the sideline because they might get in the players' way. How about the players Don't be dicks. Am I completely out to lunch on this? Hot take.
No, here's the thing. The NFL players are getting paid a lot of money to play a dangerous game, but part of the responsibility that comes along with getting paid all that money and playing the game is they call it keeping it between the lines, the white lines on the field. You know, you have players all the time in vulnerable situations. You're supposed to tackle them, play at 100% aggression, and be out to beat the other team, but not hurt them. You got to control yourself. You can't hurt them. You can't be dirty. You can't gouge them in the eyeballs. And the same thing happens when you lose. You know, you're going to be mad. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be full of venom and all this anger, and you still have to control that. You know, you can get mad in the locker room and those types of things, but you cannot take it out on another human being, whether he's in your way or not. So
no, and by the way, that's physically or verbally. Oh, I did not expect to go down this road today. Jennifer from the Four Seasons, you made us take the off-ramp. And thank you. I'm not complaining. I've told this story before, but I'll say it again. There was a fan of the football team I was the broadcaster for. Let's call him Nevin. And he had said some really horrible things about the team online, on social media. I'm burning my season tickets. I'm never supporting this team. I'm never... Whatever. I think it was 2013 when we lost 4 in a row in September, and then we went on to win the Grey Cup. And then the run, I think that's the year that it was. We turned it around. You usually do. And I see him in the store, the team's merchandise store. He was like a pack mule, arms full of jerseys and quarter zips and T-shirts and hats. I say, whoa. I thought you said you're done with this team. You're burning your team. Well, I was upset. And I just turned and walked away. I'm like, well, I guess I should stop listening to you and anybody else that's ranting on, and then they're saying whatever the hell they want because they were upset at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why Davante got charged with misdemeanor assault here. Don't be a dink. Put that on that'll be on the 8th level, okay, of my tombstone, Moose. That thing is going to be the size of the Empire State Building. I see there's a lot of WHL fans writing in, and this is the warm-up, so this really is where Darren and I talk about what we want to talk about, and viewer takeover is later. But I did say this to Darren earlier this morning. I think people need to understand something. There's no coverage out there of major junior hockey. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, and there's a variety of reasons for that. There's not as much media anymore because of cutbacks. But the biggest one is you can't sell it. We had to basically shut down dubnetwork.ca because we couldn't sell advertising. We actually had the hits in a way, but we weren't making any money. And now I understand why the business people do what they do. So you can't sell it. There's nobody. I said to Darren, is there any blogs out there? Where can I read coverage of the WHL, save for the league website, where I can get the scores and stats from pretty much anywhere? And you're like, there are none. There's no magical blog out there, Darren, where I can read good dub stuff. Like there used to be a ton of them. I don't know where they went. You can't sell it. And I'm not going to sit here and do this stuff for free. So anyways, sorry. There's Rod's rant, another one for Bronco Plumbing Heating. But you're just going to have to wait your turn because it's in our sports updates. It's later on in the show, even in our quick 6, but it's not right now. Point 5, this came out overnight. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are bidding to host the Canadian Football League Grey Cup Championship in either 2024 or 2025, and the Manitoba government is offering up to $5.5 million to help the bid. According to the Premier, Heather Stevenson, Winnipeg is a natural choice given the club's back-to-back wins in the last 2 championships.
Hell yes.
Let's have the Super Bowl in New England every year because the Patriots won 6 Politicians. Stick to politics. Anyways, the Ontario government put up $3 million combined for 2 Grey Cups in Hamilton. The Saskatchewan government's Tourism Crown Corporation offered $3 million in the bid that landed this year's final in Regina. So there's that. I'm just dropping that as a news item. I don't assume you have any thoughts on Winnipeg bidding on the 2024-25 Grey Cup.
No, they should bid on it. Yeah, good for them. Had some success. And it's not about team success necessarily. It's about market engagement. And so having a good team is going to create a more engaged market, which should create a better championship game. So It's not about we're bidding because our team's got the best chance of being in the game. It's we need a bid because we've got an engaged audience here that's going to buy tickets and go to the game and support all the events. And I hope Winnipeg does that.
Jeff in Winnipeg, Jeff Cabello says Heather Stephenson, if I'm saying that right, is trying to save her job. LOL. Guess what? Everybody is. And they do what's best for themselves rather than the greater good, and that includes politicians. Sports figures too, all the rest. I will move on, but what a world we live in. Anyways, our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, which is Canada's game of the week in the Canadian Football League? We're big CFL fans, as we said yesterday, and it was the opener to this show. The CFL is cool. The same problem that's plaguing Major Junior Hockey right now is going to catch up to the CFL too. And that is lack of media, lack of reporters, lack of readership, lack of sponsorship, yada-da-da-da. But we're not there yet. And we love the CFL, and that's why we talk about it as much as we do. Friday night, it's a doubleheader, Montreal at Ottawa, followed by Hamilton at Calgary, and then Saturday, Toronto at Edmonton, Winnipeg at BC. I had to sit down and really examine. I actually voted on this on our YouTube poll. I voted on this. I had to say, let's say it again. Montreal at Ottawa, Hamilton at Calgary, in a rematch of the 1998 and 99 Grey Cups, Toronto at Edmonton, and Winnipeg at BC. And as much as we're all excited about the potential of Nathan Rourke coming back, and although I don't think he will come back this week for BC, I had to vote Hamilton-Calgary, Darren, because everybody in the world, our world really, is watching what Hamilton does. Is that not the game of the week for you? Hamilton Tiger Cats at Calgary Stampeders on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure it is. You know, you're watching Hamilton. They took one step closer last week to getting into the playoffs. They need another win somewhere along the line. They need at least one more win. And whether it happens this week at Calgary or it happens down the road, I think we're following that a lot closer than we are the battle for home field advantage in the playoffs right now. So that's the most interesting race, is the battle for that final playoff spot.
Jeff, the Stamps fan, writes in regarding that Grey Cup bid story from Winnipeg. He says, I'm not sure Bombers winning the Grey Cup really matters. LOL. And I agree. It shouldn't. But again, that's just politicians. They really should stay out of sports. But they just can't. That's why I stay out of politics. I dipped my toe in it during the pandemic because, frankly, there was no sports going on for 4 months. So I guess I'll talk about politics. Boom. Next time I do that, punch my lights out, Darren.
You got it.
I mean, there's a reason they call the sports department in newspaper departments, they call the sports department Toyland. It ain't real. Oh, trust me, I don't want to go down this road anymore. But it's not what we're talking about here. Really isn't real. Doesn't matter. Allie in Texar, Canada says, "Hey Rod, I think a good prospective guest to bring on the show would be Patrick Williams. He covers the AHL. Really nice guy. Would be nice to cover a little AHL news." We're not going to get into the AHL. We're not doing it. So thanks. I've got my hands full with the NFL and the CFL and the WHL and the MLB and no. And nobody loves hockey more than me. Nobody. But I don't think, Darren, if you went and talked to, stop 10 Canadians on the street, 10, in any city, ask them to name 3 teams in the American Hockey League, do you think they could?
Oh, it'd be awful tough. You know what would be a harder question? Tell me who won the Calder Cup last year.
Or name one that's won it ever. Do the Rochester Americans count?
I know, right? I think the Marlies won it not that long ago. And anyways, it's unfortunately because you're going head to head with the NHL. Junior hockey has more intrigue because it's a completely different demographic. This is the NHL, and we look at it as the farm system. We're not necessarily following the AHL for the championships and the playoff runs. We're following the AHL, if at all, to find out who's the next star going to the NHL.
It's unbelievable hockey. Unbelievable hockey. It's very close to the NHL, obviously. And when I go to Calgary here, where we'll be on the air from Grey Eagle next week and for several weeks, I'll be going to the Calgary Wranglers games of the AHL. I probably won't be talking about it. Maybe I will. I don't know. $50. Where did the Calgary Wranglers move from? And not to you, Darren, because you know.
I know.
We're going to Winnipeg next. See you, Moose.
Later.
It's the RP Show, Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, your favorite podcast. We're talking Jets next, okay, with Hustler. And we're on the radio in the former home of the Jets, Metro Atlanta, WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Golf, Hawaii, and the Four Seasons. Imagine picking up your clubs and feeling like a pro for one whole week in paradise. Well, you can get that chance this December with 5-star accommodations, a 3-day tournament at a championship course, and loads of VIP experiences. The Pro Leisure Golf Tour is going to make you feel like a pro, even if your golf game doesn't. So whether you're looking to grab your golfing buddies for a tropical getaway or just wanting to find an exclusive VIP experience to take part in, the PLGT is perfect for you.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Peterson. Text 902-518-3033.
Hey, just ahead of Hustler at the movies this week with Landmark Cinemas, Halloween Ends in theaters Friday. After 45 years, the most acclaimed, revered horror franchise in film history reaches its epic, terrifying conclusion as Laurie Strode faces off for the last time against the embodiment of evil, Michael Myers, in a final confrontation unlike any captured on screen before. Only one of them will survive. Get your tickets ahead of time. Landmark Cinemas. Text movies now, 902-518-3033. You see the number on the screen, and you'll be entered for a draw for movie tickets and concession treats, courtesy Landmark Cinemas and the RP Show. Okay, let's go to Winnipeg. I got some jokes popping into my head, but before I get serious, before I do that, let's get serious. How you doing, Hustler?
Hot Rod, man. It's great to talk to you. Fired up about the start of the season. We got to wait till Friday for the Jets to drop the puck against the New York Rangers, but been a real interesting preseason, and obviously, Bomber fans are making plans for November 13th right now in another West final here at IG Field.
Which they should. And by the way, just with the Jets, it's not like you don't get enough talking about it, but I'm watching the games. I'm reading the summaries on the air going, Hustler, they got good players still. I'm like, should I be buying stock in the Jets? Like Dave Babbage was on here last week. He had just been in Winnipeg. He goes, people are really positive there about the Jets before the season starts. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a naturally positive guy, and I'm pretty optimistic that this team can listen. If you believe that last year was a huge failure from top to bottom, but the talent is still there, I think that there's room for you to believe that there is much more for this team to show this season under Rick Bowness. And you mentioned the excitement, the positivity, the new atmosphere around. It's all to do with the new head coach. And Rod, he has just been an absolute breath of fresh air. I think he's been able to establish, a new level of accountability right out of the gate. I mean, calling out his top line, Scheifele, Ehlers, and Connor for long shifts in the first preseason game, I think got a lot of people's attention. And he's just been honest with the media and with fans. And he said, hey, they're not telling anything that I haven't told the guys already. And as the preseason went along, those final two games against pretty stacked Calgary Flames rosters, I mean, the Jets won both games by a total of 10-3. So I would say that there is some optimism about this club right now. We've seen the majority of the players on this team fare far better than they did last year. We'll see what happens once we get to 82 games. But I would say that a lot of the doom and gloom that was around this club at the end of last season in such a miserable year is behind them. And I think people are excited for a fresh start on Friday.
Well, and they got the Rangers on Friday, which won't be easy. But you texted me the other day saying, how's Pomo going over down here in South Florida and Paul Maurice? Well, he hasn't coached a game yet, Huss, but I can tell you this. The media, and there aren't many of them, but they all love Paul Maurice because he likes to talk. You know all that. It's the start of a marriage. Over half end in divorce, let's be honest. But right now, they're happy with him. Where are you on Paul Maurice? You were kind of like, I could text the sort of evil smile as you were texting it to me.
Well, listen, nobody wins a press conference like Paul Maurice. I will tell you that. Now, I really think that there was a big reason why what happened last year was because that he was well past his due date. And if you wanted to, and God knows we've relitigated the Jets last couple seasons for quite a while here, but I think the time to move on from Paul was actually after the really disappointing end to the 2019 season, where they were like the number 2 team in the league at the midway point and basically moonwalked into the playoffs and were bounced in the first round. But I am fascinated about the Panthers this year. I mean, that team, to me, they had such a great year. They've had so much change in the offseason and made some very, very aggressive moves. For instance, they to bring in Matthew Tkachuk, but paid a big price to get it. And listen, Paul has as much experience as anybody in the National Hockey League. He certainly, I know, will be able to handle the media. But I'm fascinated to see how that season goes because, I mean, you're right there, Rod. I mean, I can't imagine the expectations for the Florida Panthers have ever been higher than they are right now, considering what happened last year.
Yeah, but they were high last year. And let's just consider this. I've been here over a year now, Huss. A year ago, Joel Quenneville was the coach. Joel Quenneville. That seems like 10 years ago. And the culture, when you walk into the rink here, the culture is so great. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's in a good mood, slapping you on the back. And it's not. And then they went on to win the President's Cup. But 13 new players, if it's as many as that, it was what I was told, and a new coach, like that's a lot for a President's Cup trophy winning team, and they got a lot to figure out here. Kachuk, they got a lot of new faces. But I'm just glad to hear that the positivity's up in Winnipeg. As you know, we got a lot of viewers there, and I want the best for the Jets. Now, on the Bombers, there's no reason to think they won't win a third straight Grey Cup. They might be a team that, Huss, would you agree, the only thing that'll stop them is them.
Yeah, I mean, I think this season would tell us that. I mean, they've got 2 losses on the card. One was an incredible end to a football game where they did everything that you would want a team to put itself in a chance to win in a tie game. And, kind of 99 times out of 100, that kick goes through, or at least you get a single. They somehow lost to Montreal, and then they stunk it out one night going into a bye week against Hamilton. But, I mean, they're 14-2. I mean, records don't lie. And, and Rod, we've talked about this before. I mean, being a long-suffering Winnipegger, going those 29 years without a Grey Cup, seeing some good teams fail and some terrible teams be even worse, we still pinch ourselves around here for the consistent level of excellence that Kyle Walters and Mike O'Shea and Wade Miller as well outside of the football team have established. And it's a real special team. And you don't want to get into talking about things like dynasties, but listen, if they need to win 2 more games, and they will be the first team to win 3 consecutive Grey Cup championships since the incredible Edmonton teams of the early 80s. So it's a lot of fun. As far as, that West final goes, I will admit, I do think Calgary's a really good football team. I mean, the Bombers are 3-0 against them this year, but the games have been tight, and it's very difficult to beat a team 3 times in a season, never mind 4. So I don't think anything should be taken for granted. But the one thing I will say unequivocally is that Mike O'Shea and his team will take nothing for granted. They'll be prepared. And if it's Calgary or BC coming through here on the 13th of November, they will need to be at their best if they want to give themselves an opportunity to be playing in Regina on the 20th.
Buddy, every time I see the Chiefs play, and this is my last point, every time I see them play, especially at home, I think of you, and you've been to Arrowhead, right, to watch your beloved Chiefs?
Oh, man, like a couple dozen times. It's been a little bit for the last couple of years, but
compare it to IG Field for level of sound.
Well, obviously, Arrowhead is a massive stadium. We're talking about more than twice as many fans. I mean, they're packing in over 70,000. But I would have never said I would have said there's no comparison years ago. I can tell you, and I know some of your listeners from this area will echo these thoughts. The atmosphere around IG Field and in the stadium this year is the best that I have ever seen it. It's sort of like it took a couple years for the winning and everything to happen for it to really connect. There's a new generation of younger fans that are making that the place to be when the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are playing. And unlike some games where people just want to go and be seen, they're locked in on this team right now. There's an incredible connection between the team, the fan base right now. It is as special as anything that I can remember. And the volume gets right up there. I mean, listen, Arrowhead's probably the loudest stadium in the National Football League. And when you've got that many people in there, it's sort of tough to compare. But I will say this, Rod, we've been to a lot of different Canadian Football League venues. And watching this game for a long time, I haven't seen anything like, the only thing I could really compare it to is a maxed out Labor Day crowd in Regina, which I've been to many times. I mean, the passion for this team's unreal. They're rewarding their fans pretty much week in and week out. And, while a lot of people are excited and optimistic, nervously maybe a little bit about the Winnipeg Jets, there's an excitement and a confidence level unlike anything I've seen. And I can guarantee you this. November 13th for that West Final, whoever comes to Winnipeg is going to need to be prepared to deal with a lot of noise because we all remember what the Bombers did and what that crowd did last year against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I think it'll be even bigger and better this season for the West Final.
Well, I will tell you, I know there's only 10 or 15 degrees decibel difference between IG Field and Arrowhead, so they're doing something right in Winnipeg for sure. Huss, as always, thanks for this. Break a leg today, partner.
Take it easy, Rod. Don't forget that sunscreen.
I know, buddy. Right? Andrew Hustler Patterson from Winnipeg Sports Talk. They air, 1 to 3 Central on YouTube Live. We will be right back. It is the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube Live, of course, and on the radio on your home of Southern Sports and Talk, WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
beat. I gotta hit the beat.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Peterson Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Peterson Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Peterson Show.
Wrapping up a final week in beautiful South Florida before heading back to the Great White North for a spell. Starting Monday from Calgary's Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Wow, that catchy jingle. I know you've missed it. It's viewer takeover time. That's what we call this portion, the last segment of every hour. And regarding the breaking news today, Davante Adams, receiver of the Vegas Raiders, now charged with misdemeanor assault for contacting a cameraman in Kansas City. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because nobody got hurt. The whole thing's stupid. Sean's watching in Vancouver on Game Plus TV, and he says there's another angle showing the cameraman running right in front of Davante at the last second. I'd push him too. Stay in your lane, cameraman. I'm just reading the comments. I'm not going to even comment. How about a little tolerance? The same guy, my counselor Rand and colleague in this mental health field, the man who coined the phrase, don't be a dink, said PLTU, patience, love, tolerance, understanding. Exercise those and see how your life changes. Patience, love, tolerance, understanding. Or you stepped in front of me, get the hell out of the way, you loser. By the way, Chris Jarl in BC says, don't be a dink should be on the back of the RPShow shirts. Somebody writing that down? Stephen texting. He says, greetings and hallucinations from windy Minot, North Dakota. Is Troy Aikman still employed? Will he be dressed down? What is the latest on Troy Aikman? Guys, we're going to have to update that in the break and come back in hour 2 and talk about it, okay? Troy Aikman said the NFL needs to take its dresses off. Let's take our dresses off with these roughing the passer penalties, which was addressed way back at the start in the warm-up. What's the latest on Troy Aikman? My guess, having been given many stern lectures and talking tos in my life, believe me, I know my way around a stern lecture. He would have gotten one and said, don't let it happen again. You're not going to get fired for saying that. Although in 2022, who knows? Sports update. The Major League Baseball playoffs continue tonight with 2 NL Division Series games on tap. The Philadelphia Phillies look to put the Atlanta Braves, our Braves, on the brink of elimination. The Phillies lead the series 1-0 following Wednesday night's 7-6 win over the Braves. Meanwhile, the Dodgers, coming off a 5-3 victory over San Diego, can take a 2-0 lead over the Pod Squad with a win tonight. The American League clubs have the day off. Last minute of play in hour 1. The NHL regular season gets underway in Canada tonight with the Montreal Canadiens hosting the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Vancouver Canucks visiting the Edmonton Oilers. We'll get more into those games next hour. Breaking news today from Buffalo. The Sabers have signed Matthias Samuelsson to a 7-year contract extension worth $30 million. The 22-year-old Samuelsson tallied 10 assists in 42 games last season while playing on the Sabres' top blue line pairing with Rasmus Dahlin. This sports update is for Edo Japan. Their fast and friendly service plus online ordering option are easy and convenient when you're on the go. Hour 2 is straight ahead. The Moose rejoins us and Canada's foremost NFL expert, Jim Clubberline. Stick around after this break on Game Plus and WQE.
Have you subscribed to The Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Peterson. Text 902-518-3033.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
I gotta hit the beat.
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Golf, Hawaii, and the Four Seasons. Imagine picking up your clubs and feeling like a pro for one whole week in paradise. Well, you can get that chance this December with 5-star accommodations, a 3-day tournament at a championship course, and loads of VIP experiences. The Pro Leisure Golf Tour is going to make you feel like a pro, even if your golf game doesn't. So whether you're looking to grab your golfing buddies for a tropical getaway or just wanting to find an exclusive VIP experience to take part in, the PLGT is perfect for you.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
If we were a football show or an NFL show, I could spend 2 hours on what my football people are telling me today in the NFL. They're not upset at the refs with these roughing the passer penalties. Last week, you had NFL vets on ESPN crying, alum, literally crying. The league doesn't care about us. A week later, they're throwing flags on quarterbacks getting hit. So it's like, what do you want?
This is the Rod Peterson Show.
Oh, I have a feeling that hour 2 is just going to be too much fun. Welcome, everybody, to your favorite daytime sports talk show. And in Canada, the only daytime sports and entertainment talk show. But down here in America, there's a million. And it's still your favorite, and that's why you're tuned in on Game Plus Television and on the radio, WQEE Atlanta. I'm going to do my best to keep my brain focused as we bring in from the NHL's Bermuda Triangle, Darren Moose Dupont, the co-host and owner of this whole shebang. Hey, Moose, I know that you have a very big announcement that we will get to regarding the CFL and the Grey Cup, and we're going to do that in this segment, okay? So we're not going to do it now, but just a reminder, don't let me forget about it, okay?
You got it.
Okay. Here's a carryover from last hour. A viewer in North Dakota asked if I thought that, he said, what's the update on Troy Aikman? Does he still have a job? Before we talk about tonight, NHL, Leafs Habs, part of a 6-game slate. We're talking about Troy Aikman saying the NFL needs to take their dresses off. And there are Cowboys fans, of which I'm one, that are writing in and saying, Troy Aikman can say whatever he wants because he's Troy Aikman. And I remember one night at that banquet in Paradise Hill, Saskatchewan, which I've referenced many times, with Daryl Sutter, who said on the microphone, Don Cherry should have been able to say whatever he wants for the rest of his life because he's Don Cherry. I don't agree anybody should be able to say whatever they want. Nobody. Troy Aikman, Don Cherry, I'm a fan of both. Not me, not you. But is there anybody that you think should be able to say whatever he wants, or she, without fear of retribution? Matt Sundin, perhaps? Or Daryl Sittler? Or is there anybody, and that's to the viewers too, is there anybody that's beyond reproach should be able to say whatever they want? Forever.
Yeah, if there is, it would be Wayne Gretzky. I think you got to be at the top of the game.
He can. Period. He should. Yes, but he can. It's Wayne. It's Wayne. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I think. I mean, no, for the most part, you can't. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've done. You can't just say anything and get away with it. It's just It's not okay. Even if you are Wayne Gretzky, we do joke about that, but there's probably a line that even Wayne can't cross.
You know what? Wayne's never said anything dumb.
Right.
That's the difference. But and when I say dumb, I mean that's ever got him in trouble. Never. Not that I remember. You people, tell me if he has. I don't remember any. Thank you. Staying out of the comments because I will get the squirrel that I am. I'll get completely derailed. They're guessing what our CFL Grey Cup announcement is. So that's just going to keep them on a little longer. It is opening night in the NHL in Canada tonight on two fronts. The Toronto Maple Leafs are at the Montreal Canadiens. And that is your team, the Leafs. So what are you expecting tonight? How much is Toronto going to win by at Centre Bell?
They're going to win by 5 goals, Rod, which means they'll probably lose by 2. But you know what? It's always special opening night when you get those two together. They would always play the opening night of the season, period. But the fact that they're going to play and it's in Montreal, in that historic city for hockey, it's going to be fun, and we'll be dialed right in.
Moose says Leafs by 5 or more. And it's funny, I saw the statement come out. Yeah, let's go, baby. I saw the statement or story come out of Montreal yesterday that Juraj Slafkovsky's made the team. Who are all the guys? Brendan Gouldy's made the team. Jack Guy's made the team. And they're all celebrating this. I'm like, no, that's not good. They were the best AHL team last year. They got even younger. Quebec City. Rampart, formerly the Beauport Hartfang, could probably beat the Montreal Canadiens. Sometimes I wonder who's writing these stories. Well, I know who it is because I'm reading them and I'm paying for them. This exorbitant fee for garbage, frankly, in a lot of cases coming out of the Canadian press and the Associated Press. They just don't understand sports and they're writing sports. I don't know how that happened. Anyways, B. Henderson's watching and says that Sean Avery can say anything he wants, but no one cares. Woo-ha. Where's Rick Reagan on that one? Well, and it's funny he brings up Sean Avery because a while back, Sean Avery put something out on Twitter and somebody's like, oh, did you see what Sean Avery said? I'm like, no, I don't follow him. I think he's a dork. I was at a party in Las Vegas with him, a pool party. He's a dork then. I might have been too. It was a hell of a story. But the thing is, if I don't like somebody, I don't care for their opinion, I don't follow them on social media and I don't watch their show, okay? I know that makes me rare. There's one guy that I really don't like, and I've never met him, so it might be unfair, but Piers Morgan. I don't like that guy. Didn't like him on America's Got Talent. Didn't like him on any snippets that I saw in the news, or didn't he have a show on CNN? I don't know. I didn't watch any of it because I'm not an idiot. If somebody drives me, what is it with people that they just get enraged? Don't follow them. Don't watch it. Why is that so hard for people, Darren? I know it might be a rhetorical question. Do you want to take a stab at that? No, I know.
It's 101, man. You know, your ex drives you up the wall, but you can't help but check out the profile. You got to keep looking at it. You got to keep seeing what they're up to. And you know every time it drives you mad, but you just can't help yourself. You know, that's a real key to happiness, man. If somebody drives you nuts, if you don't like somebody, if it makes you feel bad, stop watching it, stop looking at it, don't engage. But
today's life lesson. Today's life lesson. Two last things. Ryan in Toronto says, I hope an apology will suffice and Troy Aikman won't get canceled over this. That's where we started all this. No, Troy won't. If anything, he'll get a stern talking to, and I know because I've had many. But I don't think Troy will apologize, and I don't really think that he should. Serena was on here yesterday. She had no problem with what Troy Aikman said. And by the way, was she ever a popular guest? And as I said to her, wait till you get comfortable. David in Winnipeg says, curious, Rod, what episode are you gents on? I remember when you initially started up and were doing episodes after CFL player numbers. Thank you, David. I appreciate you asking and watching way back then. We're on episode number 860. And for those that don't know, I do think about this quite often. Listen, I could tell the story of how this show started, but a lot of our viewers know that. They've been with us a long time. I want to bore them, but we started as a Facebook Live show. It was Darren's idea. I made Darren wait, not intentionally, but I made you wait a few months before I even decided if I was going to do this thing at all. Our broadcast platform was Facebook. We were just talking about this the other day. Did we have to wait 1 or 2 years before we went on national television on Game Plus TV?
A whole year.
2 years?
A whole year.
Okay. And then we had to wait 3 years to go on the radio. Shout out WQEE Atlanta, Metro Atlanta, your home for Southern sports and talk. Boom.
How
Love
about
you,
that?
Ryan O'Radio.
I like it.
Okay. We've covered the Leafs and the Habs. Oilers, Canucks tonight. The Oilers are going to speedboat them. They're going to motorboat them. My guess is by 2. Oilers will win by 2. So Leafs are saying, Moose is saying the Leafs will win by 5 or more at Montreal. Were you not serious when you said that?
No, but you know what? If you want me a real prediction, I'll say Leafs by 3. I'll say Leafs by 3. That'll be a real prediction.
Okay.
Like 4-1, 5-2.
Yeah. I got Oilers by 2. I got to say this, Bet Regal, our exclusive betting partner, they're like every other betting company in this one way. When it comes to hockey games, the spread is always 1.5 goals either way. The over-under fluctuates, but the spread is only like 1.5. And that's on any betting platform that I've seen, and it makes betting on hockey not a whole lot of fun. I think me and Moose, our odds are a lot better, our betting lines. But football just plays in very nicely for betting. Anyways, enough about that. Breaking news, Moose, with regards to the 2022 Coupe de Grey Cup, the Canadian Football League Championship. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited to announce that our party is going to be held. We are going to have a very fun fan player VIP party on the Friday before Grey Cup, November the 18th, and tickets are going to go on sale Friday. So that's really exciting. Friday at noon Eastern, 10 a.m. Mountain. The tickets will go on sale. It's a VIP event, so there's going to be players, personalities, media from the Canadian Football League will be there, and there's a very limited number of tickets available. It's not a big venue, so it's going to be very exclusive, but there's an opportunity for tickets to go on sale Friday. And for viewers watching today, we have a pre-sale code, so all you need to do is text Grey Cup to the text line at 902-518-3033, and we will send you the pre-sale code, and you can get your tickets before Friday when they go open to the general public. Ooh. So text Grey Cup into the text line, and we'll get you the pre-sale code.
Thanks for pointing out, Ryan, in Saratoga, New York, that it's 11:11 a.m. Mountain, 1:11 p.m. Eastern. Tells you that we are certainly on the right track, and we will see you. I said to Moose, these plans just came together, finalized this morning. I know you've been talking about them for months. This is the first Grey Cup party that I've seen advertised by anybody. So all of your favorite RP show personalities will be there. I can't speak for John Frenzy, but as far as the people that you're all used to, Director Jordan, Producer Clark, hey, we're going to drag everybody there that we can. So the tickets will go on Friday for the first Grey Cup party, and really the only one that you're going to want to be at. Now, having said that, my phone's starting to blow up a little bit with football people with regards to parties and where are you going to be here, are you going to be there, which generally I loathe. I used to love it, man. I used to be the party coordinator at Grey Cup. Just ask me.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like I'll be at the party and I'll be gone. It's funny because Darren dropped me off at a Super Bowl party last year. Downtown Los Angeles. What time did the party start, Moose?
7 or 8. Yeah, it was 7 or 8 o'clock I dropped you off.
I was ready to go by 8:30.
Yeah, I had plans. I'm like, I'm going to go and do this, and you called, and I'm like, okay, time to go. But now you know, with all your football friends that are bugging your phone, that you can coordinate them now into one spot and hit them all at once. So you tell them, get it Friday, November 18th, that's the one I'll be at, and you guys can all join.
Well, and by the way, it's picking up. It's picking up steam. Hang on a second. What's going on here? I just see our WhatsApp group is going off the chain, and it's got nothing to do with me. So, as we were, I got a DM. I won't say from who, but you know her. She wrote me the other day and said, "Hey, Rod, it's would you consider coming to our Grey Cup Tweet Up event? It's Friday, 6 till 8. Can't remember where she said it was. It's a ticketed event. Which she said, I don't have to buy tickets, but we would love to have you be there as a CFL person. She goes, we used to partner with the CFL with this, but we're not partnering with them. I don't think they're doing a tweet up this year, CFL sanctioned, but the group that normally does is. So I said, yeah, I'll be there. I said, I don't really know what my Friday plan was, but I just found out today that I'm having a party on the Friday night that we're hosting. But the tweet up is 6 till 8 and then 8. So all these older football guys, you hear me talk about the insiders. These are all guys that have been in the CFL going back for the last 40 years. Some just got out the last couple of years ago. Some haven't had anything to do with the CFL for 30 years. But these are my friends now. And they're like, how come the CFL is not doing this? Why are they doing that? We used to do it this way. And I'm at a point where I'm like, I don't know. But we'll do it our way. Right? Yeah. I've just promised that I'm not going to respond to these messages that continue to come in all the time. You don't see, and they're not haters. They're not haters. This is exactly the opposite. But I can't directly address people here. Oh, Allie in Texarkana, Texas says, so the question is, when is the RP show coming to Texas for a Stars game? Oh, man. We've got so many invitations to go places, and we're getting mail from people in Texas that are watching every day, and Stars Talk. I will say the first ever live show, we're going to break and then come. No, is Jim Lang in next? Jimmy's like, okay, he's ready to go. My first ever live show when I was hosting a sports trip was in Dallas, but we'll have to share that later. Moose, are you coming back?
Yeah, you bet.
Okay. We'll be talking NFL and whatever else you folks would like to discuss with Jim Lang when we return. It is the RP Show. He is the foremost expert on the National Football League. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, your favorite podcast platform, and, of course, on the radio on your home of Southern Sports and Talk, WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks and make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
It is paradise, I'm telling you. South Florida, home of the Dolphins. And man, has the mood changed around that football team. And joining us to talk about it is Canada's foremost expert on the National Football League, Jim Clubberlang. And Jimbo, I'm sure you heard. Welcome to the program again, sir. Breaking news. You see that Raiders receiver Davante Adams charged with misdemeanor assault for contacting the cameraman at the end of Monday Night Football on Monday night. Maybe we should start there. Your thoughts on that, and if you actually thought the Raiders were going to pull off that upset Monday night.
I did think the Raiders had a chance to pull off the upset as good as the Chiefs have been playing. I think the charge, as they're calling it, is a little overblown. Davante Adams, should he have done that? No. Is it worthy of being charged for it? I don't think so. I don't know the thought process behind the person who laid the charges, but if I found out in a week or two that there was a financial payout to have the charges dropped, it wouldn't shock me, Rod. That, they settled out of court, some money was exchanged. I'm sorry it happened again. It won't happen again, and let's move on. Because I've seen far worse things happen to people along the sidelines on purpose in an accident that didn't result in charges.
Yeah, that is the news today. Misdemeanor assault charge for Davante Adams. Now, the Raiders, what are they, 1-4? Am I right? It's 1-4?
Yeah, they're 1-4.
Somebody's saying the best 1-4 team ever.
Well, I mean, Bill Parcells said you are what your record says you are. I mean, they're a work in progress. And it's, I think what happens is, what happens with the Raiders now is what happened with the Eagles when Nick Sirianni first showed up in Philadelphia. It takes a while for the team to get to know the coach to get to know the players, everyone to understand what the coach is trying to do in their offensive systems. And you're always that little bit short and you're missing out. And the margin for victory in the NFL is so minor now. That's what happens. That's why I think what Brian Dable's doing with the Giants is so surprising, because he stepped right in and has turned that franchise around. But it took Nick Sirianni that extra year, and now you're seeing the fruits of his labor. And I think the same thing with Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys. It took a bit of time, and everyone understands each other. And now you're seeing how well the Cowboys are playing, even with the injury to Dak. So for a coach to come in right away and turn it around is pretty difficult in the NFL. And I'm willing to give McDaniels a little bit of time to figure it out. And hopefully obviously they're going to give a couple more and then a couple years to figure it out. But yeah, they're close. But there's a lot of teams in the NFL that are close right now, Rod. And you look at how a lot of the games are finishing. I mean, ask the Green Bay Packers how close they were in London in that loss to the Giants. There's a lot of close games. And it often comes down to just a handful of plays. And that's the determining factor, whether or not you win or lose in the NFL in 2022.
I'm friends with a lot of football people, as are you, and they always, we talk about what quarterbacks get paid. And it just seems so ridiculous. And then you see what happens when a guy like Tua goes down. They can't win without Tua. And that's what the scouts are telling me, Rod. That's why they get paid so much. They mean that much. Where are you on quarterback salaries and their importance, Jim?
I mean, it's all tying into everything that's happening in the NFL with the roughing the passer. The NFL, the rules committee, management, and agents have, and it all starts with Lee Steinberg. He was the architect of it all, the genius agent, who was the agent for Steve Young and other great quarterbacks, and Warren Moon. And the quarterback is the position in the National Football League. Look what Josh Allen's doing with the Buffalo Bills. Look at what Patrick Mahomes does with the Chiefs. They are never out of it with Patrick Mahomes. Look at the top teams in the NFL, and they've got a top quarterback. It's almost impossible to win in the NFL unless your quarterback is an elite. Look at the problems with Denver because, quite frankly, Russell Wilson is so grossly underperformed with the Broncos, and now their season's a bit of a mess. So, I mean, if you find the right quarterback and you find that franchise quarterback, you can't pay them enough. Because that's the difference between contending and non-contending every year. If you have the quarterback, you have a chance to be in the conversation in the postseason every single year. And no matter what they pay Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, the Packers are always a contending team because he's that good. No matter who leaves or who's hurt, as long as he's healthy and behind center, they have a chance to win.
So do you believe, given the whole Tua situation coming out of weeks 3 and 4, that the refs weren't told to crack down on roughing the passer going into week 5, as the owners and their reps are saying coming out of week 5?
Oh, I don't believe that at all. I think word came from the Ivory Tower and Park Avenue in New York that we can't have franchise quarterbacks like stumbling off the field because they don't know what state they're in, like physically and mentally. There's no question. I mean, some of the calls that happened this weekend, even quarterbacks are questioning why it was called. Now, quarterbacks will always, as soon as they're hit, they're pointing to the referee saying, hey, he hit me, I need a 15-yard penalty. But when quarterbacks are questioning, like, I don't think that was a roughing the passer call, you know they've gone too far. I mean, the Chris Jones hit in the Raiders game, he had his one hand out to brace himself to take his weight off a car, and they still called it. The Grady Jarrett hit on Tom Brady was about as textbook of a tackle. Don't forget now, in the NFL, the strike zone for a player is basically the collarbone to the waistband for a quarterback. You can't hit him above the collarbone, and you really can't hit him below the waistband. They're probably going to call a 15-yard penalty. And he still did all the right things, and he still got the call against him that may or may not have allowed Atlanta to win that game. Atlanta was definitely in that game and gave the Buccaneers all they could handle. But, I mean, these kind of penalties, these kind of calls change the course of a football game. And that's a difference between teams being 1-4 right now, or maybe 3-2 or 4-1, because those calls are just always seem to come at a crucial time, Rod. They always do. And these defensive players make millions of dollars, not quarterback money, on a few things: sacks, quarterback pressures, tackles for losses, forced fumbles. But they also have money taken away in negotiation when they start bringing up all the penalties against them. So, I mean, there's a lot of things in play here. The competition committee has vowed they are going to look at it. And one of the things that Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys, brought up today, and I think is very, very smart, is, look, if it's a 15-yard penalty, why not review it? Let's have another look. If the ref says, well, I saw this, and the back judge says, well, actually, I saw this, well, why not review it? There's too much on the line in the National Football League. As long as you're not getting like a forearm to the head of the quarterback, or they're going after his knees, it's still football. Like, I mean, you are allowed to hit the quarterback, and that can't be taken away from the game, or it's not football as we know it.
Even your dog is whining about NFL officiating. And apparently
Monty
you can't.
hates the calls.
You can't hit a quarterback. So you seem surprised when I brought the thing up. Here's this directly from the Associated Press. A person with direct knowledge of the matter told the Associated Press that the NFL did not give officials a directive to emphasize roughing the passer penalties following Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's concussion, but the topic will be discussed when NFL owners meet in New York next week. When I read that, I'm like, and a person with direct knowledge of the matter is lying. And I'm kind of tired of that, Jim.
No, no, Ron, I just don't believe that report. I just don't believe that the officials did not get direction from the NFL head office about how they protect quarterbacks. There's just no way, considering there was, and this is not one isolated incident. We can go over the last couple of weeks since Tua got hit. at all the calls that were roughing the passer against the quarterback and break it down. And in previous years, like, that's not a call because the quarterback's knees were not targeted. He was not hit above the head. He was not horse collared, or they do like the pile driver where they throw them down like that. That didn't happen. So now a defensive player who's trying to make a difference to win a game is coming off the edge or up the middle. And now you have to actually think while you're coming towards the quarterback at speed, fighting off a 320-pound offensive lineman, where can I hit this quarterback so I make a play without costing my team possibly a 15-yard penalty and costing my team the game? And you have to do that in a fraction of a second. That's a big advantage for a quarterback in the NFL, a big advantage for offenses. And, I mean, that's why the competition committee is going to look at it. But since the Tua incident blew up as much as it did, I just do not believe that there was not some direction from the league towards the officials about almost having a cone of bubble, wrap them in a virtual bubble. Don't let anyone hit them. And if they do, call it. Because how else do you explain it? It's unexplainable, some of the calls, Rod.
It's exactly what happened. And I've sat in too many offices and meetings and on planes and buses when the phones rang. And it's the league.
Yeah.
You know, and I know too many referees. People think we're stupid. Anyways, Ryan in upstate New York's watching. He says, question for Jim. Is there potentially not one, but two Rookie of the Year candidates on my New York Jets in Breece Hall and Sauce Gardner?
Oh, he's 100% right. I want to tell you something. This Sauce Gardner, this defensive back they got, he is special. I mean, I'm not putting him in Revis Island category yet, but I mean, to have the draft that they did, the Jets hit the home run with the draft. This is the kind of draft that teams dream of year after year. And they got an impact defensive player, an impact offensive player. And man, I've been so impressed by the Jets and their, like, where they're at. I mean, I don't think they're there yet, but they're a team that other teams look at on the schedule and go, well, we're going to have to earn a victory. This is going to hurt, and it ain't going to be easy. And so in a couple years, the Jets are going to be a team that a lot of teams and players around the NFL, especially the AFC, are going to have a lot of respect and fear for it, because they're definitely on the right track. Especially, I mean, think how good Sauce Gardner is right now as a rookie. He's only going to get better. I mean, I think it's a fantastic draft, and it just set the team up and has really set them to the next level, because I think they're far ahead. I think where a lot of people thought they would be in their progression and their growth as a football team. But my, oh my, do they look good now? And that Sauce Gardner, I think he's absolutely special. I mean, right now he's a hands-on favorite defensive rookie of the year. And, you know, now, I mean, how often do you see a cornerback who's in the rookie of the year conversation? He deserves to be in it.
A quick one, and then I got to ask you about the Leafs. Randy from Winnipeg writes that he's a big Chargers fan. He says, what does Jim think about the Chargers' Staley coaching methods almost costing the team a loss on Sunday?
I understand his love of analytics and new age football, but I just think Staley takes it too far. Like, he takes it like 1, 2, 3 levels too many. We're always going for it in fourth down. Sometimes it's okay in the NFL to kick a field goal, take the points, and trust your defense. I mean, they've got some players on defense, and I think it also is slightly insulting that you're always going for it in fourth down, that you don't trust your defense to hold the other team. And winning is so hard in the National Football League, and especially I find this year, there have been so many close games. So why not kick a field goal now and then, take some points, give your defense a chance to get the ball back, and trust them? And that's my issue with Staley, is he never, ever goes for the sure thing and never trusts his defense. He's always gambling, always gambling. That's fine, but you get burned a lot. And I wonder how many games that's costing the Chargers. I mean, you talk about great young quarterbacks. They got one in Justin Herbert. I mean, they've got their franchise quarterback for the next 10 years. So give them a chance to win. Give them a chance to compete in games. I mean, if Andy Reid can kick a field goal now and then, why can't Staley? I don't get it.
Leafs at Canadien tonight. Ce soir.
Let's go.
And the Moose, Leafs fan, earlier on predicted Toronto wins by 3 or more tonight. How bad's the massacre going to be in downtown Montreal?
I mean, It could happen. I mean, let's face it. If you're a Canadiens fan, you're already thinking about the draft. Hey, do you think we could get Connor Bedard? Would he look good in a Montreal Canadiens uniform? Because they're going to be so bad this year. And I mean, that's, I think, the biggest problem for the Leafs or any team playing Montreal this year is you're so convinced that Montreal's so bad, you're not even respecting them as an NHL team. And sometimes the Habs are going to end up winning games because other teams just didn't take them seriously. But yeah, it's going to be a long year in Montreal. But for the Leafs, again, this is a make or break year for Kyle Dubas and Sheldon Keefe, because if Dubas goes, Keefe goes. And they've not won a first-round playoff series, and they're banking on Samsonov and Matt Murray to reclaim some of their previous magic and lead them to the promised land. But until they win a playoff round, like, show me. Like, I'm not impressed. Like, score 50, 60 goals, have your all-star appearances, have all your good social media and your interviews. Like, win a playoff round. Show that you're actually a competitive team in the NHL. Then come talk to me. Because right now it's just all talk.
Well, the hockey people are saying this is it. I've got him picked to be first place in the division. We had Randy Moeller with us yesterday. He grew up a Leafs fan. Do you not find when you're a little biased, it's difficult to make your prediction on your team? Have you found that? I've been finding that lately.
I've been finding it less because I'm just a little jaded because the Leafs have disappointed me so much over the last few years. I'm finding I'm going the other way. Like, show me something. I don't care where they finish in the division. I don't think it really matters for the Leafs, because until they show they can win a playoff round, they can be a wild card or the division winner. But right now, I mean, which Matt Murray is going to show up come postseason time? Is it going to be Stanley Cup Matt Murray or regular season wishy-washy Matt Murray? No one knows that right now, Rod. I don't know that. And until we get around to April, no one's really sure. And that's the biggest challenge for the Maple Leafs. So right now, I mean, they're so hard to the cap, they're going to have to make some tough cap decisions because of their financial situation. And I wouldn't be surprised at sometime this season that a player with a big ticket ends up getting moved so they have a little bit of cap wiggle room to make some moves. Because as of right now, I don't even know what they would do with the trade deadline because they have no money to work with.
I'm wondering which Matt Murray shows up tonight.
Well,
let alone
Rod,
April.
Yeah. No, Rod, you make a great point. So what Matt Murray shows up tonight? I mean, everyone's saying, the Leafs are going to beat him by 3. Well, what if Matt Murray is only okay and Montreal pumps a couple by them? Are those fans there? I mean, if you've never seen a game in Montreal, and if Montreal scores a couple quick goals and you're their opposing team, it's no fun to be in there. It is. I mean, there's loud.
Been there.
So, yeah, Matt Murray lets off a softie early.
Enjoy the game, brother. Thanks for the visit.
Thank you. Go Rod. Team Rod Peterson.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks. Glad to have you on it. He's a first liner. Jim Clubber Lang. We'll be right back, and the Moose is going to rejoin. It's the RP Show. We're on Game Plus television, available all across Ontario on Rogers and Cogeco Cable. Haven't forgot about the Quebecers. And the Maritimers were carried on Eastlink, Videotron, and Rogers out there. Also your favorite podcast platform. And on the radio on your home of Southern Sports and Talk, 99.1 FM WQEE.
Have you subscribed to The Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Peterson. Text 902-518-3033.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
Golf, Hawaii, and the Four Seasons. Imagine picking up your clubs and feeling like a pro for one whole week in paradise. Well, you can get that chance this December with 5-star accommodations, a 3-day tournament at a championship course, and loads of VIP experiences. The Pro Leisure Golf Tour is going to make you feel like a pro, even if your golf game doesn't. So whether you're looking to grab your golfing buddies for a tropical getaway or just wanting to find an exclusive VIP experience to take part in, the PLGT is perfect for you.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
As you can see, and maybe hear, another crappy day in South Florida. Winding it up, heading northward, packing up the show. Beginning this weekend, coming through Atlanta on Friday. Be sure you stop and say hey. And then we're going to be calling hockey on Saturday night on Cat Country Radio. Let's bring in the Moose, Darren Moose Dupont. It's interesting, Moose. I don't know how you would answer this question. I'm going to put it to you. This morning, I was on the radio program of the Snowman, Brian Snow, the Snowman, in Indiana, and he asked me what was my game of the week. He watches the show very regularly down there in Indiana. I want to say South Bend, I think, is where he is. And I had to think for a second. He obviously watches the show a lot and knows that I try to restrict myself to one game a week. But I'm here in South Florida, a little different in Canada. I'm like, it's going to be the Junior B hockey game that I'm calling in Assiniboia, Saskatchewan, Saturday night. I can't wait on Cat Country. It's the one game that I'm going to. I haven't been to one other this week and won't be. But I said the week before I was at the Lightning and the Panthers here in Sunrise, and the week before that, the Dolphins and the Bills, I guess, was it that game? What's your game of the week? Or do you have more than one?
No, I don't really. I look at this being an interesting week. I don't have a game of the week, I guess is the short answer. I look at my teams, Titans out bye week. I look at the CFL.
That you're attending. No, that you're attending. Oh,
that I'm attending. I'm not. I've got nothing this week. Actually, the one game I might go to, I'll give you one. The one game that I may go to because I really want to be there is I may drive down to Saskatoon and watch the Huskies and the Rams in the Canada West. I'm not calling the game, but it's a top 10 matchup in university football in Canada. And they had a 1-point game last time they played, 11-10. So that might be my game of the week. Thank you for bringing that up.
No problem. By the way, I had I'll tell you after who it was, but I had an entity, can I say an entity, reach out and say, Rod, are you going to be in this neck of the woods? We'd love to have the show out. We'd love to have the show live. I said, no money, no funny. You know whose line that is.
I do.
Corey from the Gray Eagle. She taught us well. Yeah, we can come by. No money, no funny, though. We'll see how that goes over. Breaking news on this Wednesday. Las Vegas Raiders receiver Davante Adams has been charged with misdemeanor assault for shoving a photographer to the ground as he left the field following a loss at Kansas City. Kansas City, Missouri police said Adams pushed Ryan Zebley to the ground while running off the field following his team's 30-29 loss to the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. Police called it, quote, an intentional overt act that caused whiplash, a headache, and a possible minor concussion. Charges were filed this morning in Municipal Court of Kansas City. In a way, we laugh, but the police are doing their job. He pushed him over. He assaulted him. You can't lay your hands on somebody else, period. So, we debated this earlier, and I thank Jennifer from the Four Seasons for kind of starting us down that road. But I just think we're in a time in life where patience, love, tolerance, understanding would go a long ways. So that's the news there. More breaking news. The Buffalo Sabers signed coach Don Granato to a 2-year contract extension today, rewarding him for the team's improvement in his first full season. Granato had 2 years left on his existing contract and is now locked up through the 2025-26 season. He'll make just under $2 million in each year of the extension. The Western Hockey League announced that Saskatoon Blades forward Connor Roulette has been named WHL Player of the Week. The Dallas Stars prospect led all WHL skaters this past week with 8 points. And the Moose Jaw Warriors goalie Connor Unger has been named WHL Goalie of the Week. Over 3 appearances this past week, the product of Calgary posted a 2-0 record to go along with an 0.80 goals against average. And from the Canadian Football League, running back Wes Hills and defensive end Malik Carney of the Hamilton Tiger Cats and Winnipeg Blue Bombers receiver Dalton Schoen were named the CFL's top performers of the week. Schoen hauled in 7 passes for 162 yards and 3 touchdowns in the Bombers' win over Edmonton. The 25-year-old from Kansas State leads the CFL in receiving yards and touchdown receptions. Carney recorded 4 tackles and sacked Riders quarterback Cody Fajardo 3 times, thrice, and a dominating display of defense at Tim Hortons Field Friday night. Sports update for Ballers Rec Room, for the Tab Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. So that's a lot of sports on this Wednesday, Moose. And then, we go through some of these shows. There's no breaking news. And then you have days like today where there's a plethora of breaking news on a Wednesday. Where are you? I kind of went through the whole thing. Any thoughts on that? Adams being charged, the Granato extension, dubbing CFL players. You tell me.
The Don Granato extension is the one that caught me the most and the one that I'd like to sit on for a minute because, Buffalo's a market that has struggled for a while. They've struggled since the late 90s, it feels like, and maybe early 2000s, going all the way back to Michael Pekka being their captain and having Dominic Hasek in net. And, they've had enough pieces come through there. They've had some good players come through the last number of years, but for whatever reason, they can't get the collective group all on the same page to have success. On paper, they look okay, but it never translates into success on the ice. Well, Granato's found something, and hopefully he can continue to see the Buffalo Sabres move forward because I think they have maybe it's smaller, but they have a passionate fan base that deserve better.
James Warnicki says, I agree, Moose. Looking forward to that game. Rams Huskies. It should be a gooder. Wish you were calling it, though. Hey, it is what it is. Jenna, watching in Southern California, says, yes, I love Buffalo Sabres news. Let's go, Buffalo. I feel like we have been getting a lot of Buffalo news on here. I don't know why lately. And by the way, every time you bring up Mike Pekka, and I think it's a good thing that we're going to a break here soon. But you know where I'm going with this. I think of the Ron McLean line. Remember that a few years ago? Well, a number of years ago now with Pekka, and he said something like, wasn't Pekka's pants falling down in a game, his hockey pants? And Ron McLean on Hockey Night in Canada says something along the lines of, I mean, it was years ago, but he's like, thank God those pants didn't fall down any further or we would have seen a little Pekka. Can you imagine the furor now? Can you imagine? After what Troy Aikman's going through saying, we got to take our dresses off in the NFL. Come on, NFL, take your dresses off. Or maybe no furor would be made of it. You never know. There's no rhyme or reason to what the cancel culture mob's going to latch on to on any given day. You just don't know.
That's right.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back with Overtime. People had a lot of questions about RPShow merchandise because we're wearing a lot of it today. Moose can answer those when we return in OT after this timeout on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com, and WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks and make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
It's overtime for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. I'll be seeing the boys and gals at the Four Seasons coming up here for sure. Grey Cup week. They're at 909 Arcola Avenue East in Canada's Queen City, your home of the NFL, NHL, and UFC. It is viewer takeover as well. My cousin Christine, Darren, is watching in Medicine Hat, Alberta. And she says, we need more NBA fans. Who's we? You got a mouse in your pocket? We're not going to be talking NBA here. We're not going to be talking about NBA here. Even if the Raptors make it to the conference finals. I'm in Miami. They don't talk about the Heat here. If you can believe. It's all about the Dolphins. So, yeah. I see this. Clark saying on Thursday show, I see you, Clark. Coming up on Thursday show, Calgary Flames alum Curtis Glencross and Oilers alum Luke Gazdick. Apparently Glencross, and I don't know why I didn't know this. I think this is when I had my head up the CFL's ass and I wasn't paying attention to anything else other than the Riders and the CFL. I didn't know that Curtis Glencross was the first guy to ever be traded between the Flames and the Oilers. Is that a thing? Apparently it is a thing. Am I right in saying that? That's what I learned the last time we had Glencross on.
I don't remember.
Ask him.
We have to ask him. And that's a big deal. And then we're seeing it lately, with players switching teams, right? I mean, James Neal, Milan Lucic. We're seeing more and more players who have played with one playing with the other, which was unheard of back in the day.
Yeah, the NBA gets its own coverage somewhere, I'm sure, but it's not going to be here. We did announce earlier on our Grey Cup party will be Friday, November the 18th. Tickets go on sale Friday. Anything else anybody needs to know, Moose, before I move on?
Tickets go on sale Friday, but our viewers can get access to a special pre-sale that's available now. Just text us on the text line, Grey Cup. Text us Grey Cup, and we'll send you the pre-sale code this afternoon.
Yeah. Our focus is what it is. It really hasn't changed a ton 860 episodes ago for the most part. The show is anchored out of Western Canada and South Florida, produced in Regina, Saskatchewan, and aired out of Toronto, Ontario, which I understand is an NBA market, but I only think they're up on the Raptors when they're winning. But you hear Toronto's its own animal. We all know that. It's a distinct society, just like British Columbia is, and Quebec is, and the prairies are. It's its own region. And I hear people say, what I hear in Toronto on the streets is Leafs talk and Blue Jays talk. You go talk to the next guy, he'll say Raptors talk. Everybody wants something different. And the thing is, it's the Rod Peterson Show. It doesn't say Sports Center down in the corner. It's what I want to talk about. And with regards to that, tonight, Moose, here's the other thing. Here's what makes what we do special. The Columbus Blue Jackets are at the Carolina Hurricanes in one of 6 NHL games. And we got a friend on Columbus, like a close friend in Cole Sillinger. And Christine, she played for your Medicine Hat Tigers. You should be up on that. Columbus at Carolina. Darren, it's not going to be the game of the night. Leafs, Habs is, Bruins, Capitals. You could make a case why every game's interesting tonight in the National Hockey League. Like Chicago at Colorado. Mon Dieu. How bad's that one going to be, Chicago at Colorado?
Ooh. That 5-goal spread might literally be a solid betting line. 4.5 goals. Not going to be great. The Carolina-Columbus game is, again, storylines. Gaudreau and Laine together, right? Against Carolina, who's one of the favorites for the Stanley Cup. That'll be interesting. They're all interesting for sure tonight, and that's what's so fun about it.
Yeah. Seattle at Anaheim. By the way, we got a message here from Rhino Radio, WQEE 99.1 FM in Metro Atlanta. He says, another great show. Ryan O'Radio is my spirit animal. I'll say it again. Coming through Atlanta on Friday, Ryan, just so you know. And Darren, you never answered me the other day. I went back and watched the tape. Can I be referred to as Rod O-Radio, or would that be a problem?
No, we can do that. You want a logo, and we can, get a Rod O-Radio. I like it. And I was actually thinking about the Atlanta radio thing in the opening segment with all the hockey we were talking about. We are single-handedly going to restart the Atlanta NHL expansion talks again and get the Thrashers back, because all the NHL talk we're going to pump into that market.
Dude, all it takes is talk. All it takes is hype. That's what people don't understand. And maybe I'll write a thesis on that. But where the CFL's dying in major junior hockey in Canada is people just aren't talking about it because the media is not talking about it. But here we are in Atlanta talking about all these things. They're going to be up on Connor Bedard, I'm telling you, in Atlanta.
Yeah.
John Kirby, I will say this, in Edmonton. He says $55 at Rogers Place for 2 hamburgers, 2 beers, and 2 bags of chips. I would say that's a great deal. Last minute of play in the RP show. Last minute of play. That's a great deal. $55 for 2 hamburgers, 2 beers, 2 bags of chips? It's $25 for 1 hot dog at Mosaic Stadium. It's the long one, but who cares? That's a good deal. What are you bitching about? Ryan says, by the way, great idea, Moose. Ryan O'Radio. He wants the NHL back in Atlanta. I can tell. This has just been a great day. Moose, thanks for that. Great work on the Grey Cup party. I can't wait to see everybody there. And we'll see you all at noon Eastern. Any parting thoughts in the last 15 seconds, Moose?
Get your Grey Cup tickets. We'll see you there.
See you all noon Eastern tomorrow right here.
Who has more fun than us?
Hot. Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. Right on. Spicy. Let's go. Approved.